I wanted to do a little discussion here. I mean, I haven't made a video in a while, and I'm sorry about that one. But there's a reason for that though, because my computer is dead, and my computer is gone, and I don't have a computer. This computer though is a film member's computer, and this has a webcam, and this is on a webcam. So I'm doing this on. Just because I want to do something. I've been wanting to do something for a while, and that's just something I really would like to do. You know, I want to do something for this channel. I want to discuss here Heidegger's notion of temporality and what his idea of time is. I talked about Husserl's idea of time. I talked about how he had these continuums, I guess. I see I'm trying to put my finger over the camera a little bit so there's not this. I don't like that. I don't like that. But anyway, I wanted to discuss this because I talked about Husserl and his idea of time, and I talked about that before, and I kind of want to get into what Heidegger says about time and what his. I mean, I'm going to go into a little bit. I'm going into it a little bit as in what his idea of it is, I guess, because. And this is not in the biggest detail in the world, it's just to contrast it with what Husserl says about time. Now, in Husserl's phenomenology of internal time consciousness, he says that there are primal impressions, there are primary remembrances, and there are retentions, and then there's protensions. Now, the primal impression is when something immediately occurs, and then you have a sense of time concerning that, and then after that you have a primary remembrance, which is a remembrance of what that is, of what that primal impression was, and then you have retentions after that, which is even further off. Now, each time you have one of those, you have another primal impression. Each one of those is itself another primal impression. Each time one of those things occurs, you have a continuum, which basically will shade off, I guess. So to the point that where you have these continuums, which will just sort of fade in and out and shade up and on and off and stuff like that, and so you'll have that. And then, but Heidegger has a different idea. Now, first of all, I'm going to go a little bit, not in just time here. It's going to be go from being in the world and design and stuff like that. This is in his being in time. First, we have being in the world, and we have being in as such. We have being with, and we have being toward death. Now, being in the world, it is a alternative to the subject-object split. Now, the subject-object split is where, like, I'm the subject and I am over here, this computer is over here. That's what that is. That's a subject-object split. Now, being in the world, it is just where I'm in the world, I'm part of all these things. All these things are me, and I have consciousness of them, and this is the being in the world. Now, there's better ways to explain it. I should probably make another video someplace where there's a better explanation of this, because this is something that needs to be better explained, at the whole idea of being in the world. I'll probably go into the huge idea of worldhood. This chapter called Worldhood of the World, which is a different, which is it's very. There's a lot more detail in this, but basically what I'm getting at is that you have being in the world, and you have being with, as in you're there along with others. Others are, basically other designed just like yourself. And then we have being toward death, which is a attunement or disposition where you are understanding that you are understanding your finitude, I guess. You're understanding that you are a finite being and that you're not going to live forever and that you're going to die eventually. And then also, there's three components that I want to discuss here. There's Befindlichkeit. This is a what is Befindlichkeit? There's Befindlichkeit, and there's Verstehen, and then there's Verfallen. Now, Befindlichkeit is your situation, is what the situation is, or your facticity is what the true present is right now. And then you have Verstehen, which is your understanding of the possibilities, what Sartre called transcendence. And then you have that. You have those things, and you have Verstehen, which is understanding of your current Befindlichkeit, or your situation, or your facticity. And then you're understanding that in terms of certain projects or possibilities of what you're going to do, and then you have Verfallen, which is your fallenness, or fallen into a certain thing, maybe thrownness, I guess. So we have these three things, which basically creates the understanding of being in the world. It's your being as design, or being there. This is your concern, and then what this all is together. These three things together is being as care, because you have care as in concern for all these things. You are concerned about you're concerned about your facticity and your transcendence. You're transcendent as in your possibilities, your future. What is not currently yet facticity, but it is I lost my train of thought, sorry. But basically, we have these three things, which creates care. Now, care is concern for all the things that are in your life, and then we have your Befindlichkeit for staying there, and then the threat for falling. So it's just basically, so we have these three things together, and then that's being as care. You're being as concern for everything that essentially creates your being world of yourself. It is you. That's your life, and with everything else in the world that's together, basically one unit. And then what grounds all of this is temporality, or time, the sense of time. Now, why that grounds it is because there's a past. Well, again, Heidegger, Heidegger does not differentiate between subject and object and stuff like that. He just has being in the world. Just like that, we have. He doesn't really differentiate between past, present, and future. I mean, he does, but here's what you have. You have the present. You have a now. The now is because it's just that it's a sense of your past and your future. You have your past and your future condensed into this now, or poem now, as Husserl would say. So we have these, in this present, right now I'm thinking about things that have happened in the past and how I want to possibly improve from that, or what I want to do. In my current present, I'm thinking about the past, as well as I'm thinking about the future, and my possibilities, and my transcendence, and what I want to do, and my projects. And projects is something, a word that Heidegger said is, and has Simone de Beauvoir, another French existentialist, just like Sartre and Camus. But we have these three things together. Now, it's almost like it's called dwelling. Also, this certain present, where past and future are condensed into this little moment. It's often called dwelling. The present is called dwelling because you're dwelling in the things that have happened in the past and the things that are possibly going to happen. So this is the idea of temporality for Heidegger. It's mostly just I just want to think about that, and I guess what do you think that time is should be conceived as? Now, there's a certain philosophy of mathematics, point to an idea of time, but that is Heidegger's idea of time. Now, I want to compare Husserl's idea of time to Heidegger's. Now, Heidegger's can be explained in way more detail, but I've explained Husserl's in way more detail before, and I guess Husserl's idea of time is Heidegger's idea of time in that like Husserl says, you have these protensions and retentions and all those things which are together in one idea, because of all the continuums that are shading off, which creates the tonal now. And I guess that in that way they're very similar, but I like how the idea of time sort of the idea of time here sort of, I think, I don't know, I guess I like the way that Husserl explains it, but I like the way that Heidegger uses the time to ground being as care. But anyway, that's I'm gonna go into way more detail about. I'm gonna go through each chapter Heidegger has. I mean, I've gone through a couple already. I'm gonna go through each chapter he has so that I can eventually explain being in as such, worldhood of the world, and those things, because those are really important, I think. But this is just a big run through of the big Heideggerian being in the world and stuff like that, where we have this whole scheme of things which is grounded in temporality. So I guess the reason I think care is grounded in temporality, because you have past and you have your future, which those things are together, condensed in this one present, which essentially is care, because you wouldn't really have a sense of time if you didn't have this care and concern for things. So I don't know. I guess I could talk a lot more about this, but I think I'm gonna go to a different topic and make another video about different things. So, I probably screwed a couple things up because I went through this really quickly. There's a lot of things I could have talked about, but I didn't. So, if I missed anything, please let me know, and then I'll fix it later. So, I wanted to make one video really quickly, and I wanted to discuss this really fast. So, thank you. Have a great day.